Hello everyone, watch this review here where they look at the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, that's the Miles Morales Spider-Man from the Ultimate continuity, from Hasbro's, the Walmart exclusive Hasbro's Amazing Spider-Man 6-inch line. Now, while I'm not all that familiar with Miles Morales, I haven't read any of the comics or so forth, I'm very familiar with the controversy it caused. At the time, a few people in the media were claiming it was a racist decision, and I guess I can kind of see the point where Peter Parker was killed off and they replace him with a character of a more mixed heritage, trying to appeal to a different demographics. You know, a lot of little white kids read comic books. Maybe they'll bring in some other people, but I don't know, it was kind of overblown in some senses, and in other senses, you know, it's kind of messed up that you just kill off Peter Parker and then you bring in a new guy almost immediately. Honestly, it would have been a lot cooler if they brought in this guy a bit earlier, had him like team up with Peter Parker and stuff. And when Peter Parker dies, you know, he just dons the I like to say cowl, but I guess mask is a better connotation here. Because basically his powers aren't even all that similar, apparently. Like he's got the super strength and the wall climbing, but instead he's got some sort of a stinger that paralyzes people and some sort of a camouflage mode. I mean, he could have definitely made a cool sidekick for Spider-Man. It'd be also sort of neat just to see Spider-Man have a sidekick, but yeah, when Captain America died, Bucky Barnes stepped up. He took over Cap's position. You know, that would have been a much nicer way for the character to sort of go out. Also, I did go back and I read the comic for the Ultimate. Well, no, I saw a video for the Ultimate Spider-Man's death. It's also kind of weird, but you know what? That's completely off topic. It's completely off topic. I'm getting off on a tangent. We'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, you know what, I'm just going to call him Ultimate Spider-Man, comes with a stand, the same sort that we saw with the 6-inch Avengers, as well as the Wave 3 Marvel Legends. Also, I think, well, the point is, these have sort of come around a lot. I still don't look at the shape, though, it's kind of funky. As well as a web shield, which I believe has also been packaged with something else as well. Maybe it was Spider-Man this wave. Neat looking accessory though. I'm not sure if his web shears are organic or not. Maybe they are. I don't know. At any rate, side note, because I refuse to stay on topic. This is the only figure from the Walmart exclusive 6-inch line that I bothered picking up. I don't know, the Spider-Man, the movie version, kind of looked crappy. It shared a lot with its 3 3/4 inch one, except for what looked great on the 3 3/4 inch scale. Doesn't so much look good on the 6-inch. It's kind of funny like that. And then the lizard, I don't know, the lizard's head sculpt just seems awful. Now, I saw a few videos where people had customized him into an awesome looking Sauron, and while I'd love to do that, I just have no customization skills at all, so I just skipped picking him up. Plus, I have the Diamond Select, the Marvel Select version anyway, which, you know, is a cooler looking one. But this figure is definitely pretty awesome. When I first saw him, I was a little turned off by the design, because it seems kind of bland, a little plain at first, but it really grows on you. It's sort of minimalistic. It's just got a bunch of red lines, and it's a nearly completely black outfit. But I mean, the general sculpting and stuff, as well as the articulation, is pretty solid. The one thing I do not like is the ball joints. I greatly prefer having sort of sculpted legs, such as with the Captain America here, who I'm bringing in just for a size comparison. Now, I heard that this version's a bit shorter than, you know, normal Spider-Man figures. You know, I should have grabbed a Spider-Man figure. Live and learn. But supposedly Miles Morales is just a kid. Supposedly he was even younger than the Ultimate Peter Parker, and the Ultimate Peter Parker was still in like high school, like he was a freshman or something, I think. So actually maybe he's probably a bit too tall for who he is. Yeah. Now while the Captain America has a few joints that I'd rather have seen in this one, this guy does have shoulder spans. I've always been a fan of the shoulder span. It's just a cool extra joint, so it lets you get the arms in a bit more. It's like if you have them doing grappling poses, like if you're trying to put a headlock on somebody, you can pose them like that. Also, he has like these sort of crazy open hands, which I don't think I've seen on a lot of other figures. It's at least not the Marvel ones or the Hasbro Marvel ones. And it looks kind of like he's throwing off a Sith Force lightning or something. I don't know if that's how he uses his power or something, but it's just a really cool looking pose. And other than that, like I said before, the colors just seem to go great with this guy. Though I sort of imagine that the general build is probably recycled from somewhere else, although the parts look smaller. I don't know if they have the technology to really upscale, downscale things. I imagine they kind of do with 3D printers and everything nowadays, but you know, I'm rambling. A quick run through of articulation. We have these ball and socket joints here at the sort of wrists. You'll notice that the hands are sort of too big for the forearm. There's sort of a build up here as well, sort of cover up that fact, which I thought is kind of funky, but whatever. We have a double pin here at the elbow. We have rotation of the bicep, ball jointed shoulder, the shoulder span, so we get the outward motion, inward motion. Again, love that joint. Now for some reason, the head of mine only turns left and right. I don't know if it's jammed or what. I assume that this figure has to have the ability to look up and down, because it'd be crazy to make a Spider-Man figure that can't look up and down. And I don't think Hasbro's that crazy, especially where like every other figure in line seems to have the ability to look up and down. But we have an ab crunch with a good range of motion. Look at that motion. It's crazy. I mean, it's so Spider-Man. I mean, anybody else would probably break their back if they're trying to go like this extreme of an angle. Maybe not. Maybe it'd just be pretty painful. But we have rotation at the waist. It's got one of those sort of line ball joints where you have to sort of move it the way you want it to go, and sometimes it's a bit of a hassle. Double pin here at the knee. Again, this will give you some cool sort of poses. Have I mentioned I like this figure yet? Because I like this figure. Then we have a point of rotation here at the, calf, mid calf. Well, it's below the knee and between the ankle. Then we have ankle rockers, as well as some really steep forward back. So yeah, he's got some pretty cool articulation, very nice ranges at most points. You know, all around just a great figure, probably the one to pick up from this wave / series or whatever. Actually, it'd look cool with a flight stand or whatever, just jumping out like that. But yes, it's been a look at the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, the Miles Morales version. Very cool figure. I'm not sure if I'll ever read the comics featuring him. I still have to go back and finish the Peter Parker run, or at least as much of it that I have. But yeah, until next time, folks.